What's up, Super Dad Runs, day 268. We are back home from St. Michael's Half Marathon, St. Michael's Running Fest. Got home a couple hours ago, so we relieved my sister-in-law who was on kiddo duty. It was so great to see our daughter after being gone all weekend. That was the first time, I think, definitely the first time in sobriety, but the first time I think that me and my wife have gone away without my daughter. Maybe one other time, but I can't remember, but it's definitely the first time in sobriety. So that was definitely a new experience, which was awesome. Awesome weekend for me and my wife to reconnect, and it was totally different. St. Michael's definitely a pretty booze-filled town, but it was different, kind of not being there, not having that, consume me. Really worried about having good food and good conversation and reconnecting with my wife and just laughing at crazy, stupid things that we were saying. And, the weather wasn't ideal all weekend, but, we made the best of it. And then, of course, the big player there was the star of the show was the St. Michael's Half Marathon. And then getting into the race, if you follow my other videos, was crazy. And then, getting into it on Friday, I pack and pick up and running the half marathon. So we'll get into that a little bit. It was awesome. It was a great race. It was flat. I wanted to do a sub 2-hour race, which I did. My chip time was like 1:58. So I was right before 2 hours. It was really cool too because they had pacers, so they corralled you in pacers by your estimated time. So I just stayed with the 2-hour pace for the whole time, and then around mile 8, I kind of push it ahead of her a bit. And it's funny because I actually thought I was a lot more ahead of her, but I finished a little over 2 minutes before the 2-hour group did. But I thought I was a lot further than I was, but it was funny. But given the conditions, like I said, the course was flat, it was awesome, beautiful, but it rained. The first mile or so, if you look at the videos we posted, weren't too bad, but by the end I was soaked. And the biggest obstacle for me, honestly, was my glasses. My glasses fogged up at like mile 2, and I basically couldn't see until the end. So I would take them off at periods, but kind of having them off for too long gives me that headache. So I kept them on and just basically powered through until around mile 8. It got on kind of a tight trailish, path, and there was a lot of holes and a lot of water. So I just kind of took them off and went for it. And I couldn't see a lot of the big puddles, so I was just splashing in them. I knew a lot of runners around me were avoiding them, but by then I committed. So, by mile 8 to 12, my shoes were just waterlogged. They're still drenched now. I mean, it was, that was the worst part. But really, it really wasn't that bad. I got those new Brooks last week, so I got those fancy Brooks shoes. So they worked out great. They were comfortable. I loved running in them. It was just an all-around really, really good race. Like I said, never really pushed myself. I mostly train at zone 2, so I never really push it too much. I usually, my heart beats per minute are around like 140, 150 when I do all these runs. A few 5Ks I pushed it and got into lower, like 8-minute miles, pace. In even one I was touching like 750. So I know I have it in me. I just never, to be honest, I've always been scared to push it past the threshold. I was worried of like bonking out or whatever, but it was a perfect course to try a little harder. Of course, now looking back, I'm like, man, I wish I would have tried a little more, but I'm new to running, I'm new to all this, so I'm trying to fill it out. So, got some other races. The big one is the Marine Corps Marathon in October, so that's still the big circled marathon. I'm looking for some other half marathons and other distance races every month. Since I got sober, I've done at least a registered race every month. Being the hot season, it basically goes to, mostly a lot of 5Ks in this area and stuff like that. So I'm gonna find some stuff, keep getting after it. But all around, it was a really great weekend. Really grateful for everything, the programs of recovery that got me to this point. Grateful for the time I got to reconnect with my wife. Just me and her. I'm grateful for my sister-in-law stepping up and taking care of our daughter, and knowing she was in great hands is, a huge stress reliever. And all around, just really, really blessed. I haven't been able to change everything on paper, but I just feel so much different than I did 9 months ago, almost 9 months ago. So, it's just really, really great place to be. So with that, I'm gonna keep getting after it. So one day at a time, 1 mile, and let's keep getting it. See ya.